everyone. Welcome in to day 4. Can you believe we spent 4 days now learning some of the most critical components of building a business? In my opinion, is copywriting. And we have a legend in the house in the world of marketing. If you haven't had a chance to watch last couple of days, I'm telling you, you're missing out a little bit. You might want to go into the replays, check it out. There's a ton of content. People have been giving us raving feedback so far last couple of days. And as I
Raving in a good way or raving in a, that's okay.
raving
That's
in
one of
a
them words that could go either way,
so far. Oh man. So yeah, we're it's going really well. I'm appreciating a lot of the feedback we're getting. Of course, there's always room for improvement. And so if you have feedback that I can improve on or us as a company can improve on, let us know. So today we have a lot to cover. There's going to be a lot of board action in the back with Jim leading the way there. Jim, if you don't mind, let's just get right into it. Give us a quick 30-second overview of day 1, 2, and 3.
Well, I have an amazing slide that I'll use for that. And so basically what we did, day one, we did hook story offer. So these are really your copywriting super skills. And as I think you've seen over the last few days, they really are some foundational, not just skills, but building blocks and assembling the things that we've talked about. Then we had sales letter funnels, where basically sell anything to anyone. And we saw how we take those foundational elements and we assemble them and we can make what we need in the way of sales letters and order bumps and one-time offers and all those other goodies in order to get people to take the action we wanted to take, which is to buy, try, click, sign up, or jump on a phone call or a Zoom call. I guess nobody uses phone anymore. Then yesterday we did Optin Funnels, talking about how to exactly structure pages in order to get people to take that knee-jerk reaction and sign up without overthinking it. And now on day 4 of our 3-day training, we're going to be you to catch that day 4 of our
Yes.
3-day training. We're going to be doing follow-up funnels, which is all about building relationships on autopilot. So we're on follow-up funnels, which is all about how to build relationships on autopilot. So that's kind of that's the recap of what we covered on the first 3 days of our 4-day, 3-day workshop. So
Yeah.
far, it's been pretty good. So far, I've been having a great time. I'm hoping to finish strong.
Oh man. So typically, for context, we typically do these virtual workshops as a 3-day format. Uh, Jim said, you know what? I've got a lot more stuff to cover. Can we have an extra day? And I'm thinking, well, Sundays are not a good day to add. We'll just add Thursdays for business folks and entrepreneurs. So we ended up doing a 4-day workshop here. Now, here's what I will ask everyone to kind of give us feedback on. What's been your biggest takeaway so far in the first 3 days? Give us some input of some of the things that you're considering that you're going to apply to your business. We talked about hook story offer, we talked about the sales funnels, we talked about opt-in funnels. Today we're going to talk about really automations and follow-up sequences and all kinds of stuff. And Jim, oh, reminder, could you also teach us about how you put together emails, like your secret sauce on a good email copy as well at some
Okay,
point today? That'll be awesome. So
sure.
yeah, give us some feedback here. I'm looking at the comments. I see a few people interacting, and this is also gonna help us kind of trigger off the algorithm on live streaming to kind of notify everybody. So I appreciate you guys all participating. Go ahead, Jim.
But I was waiting. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't saying anything. I was waiting for you to do your thing.
Yeah, no worries. I was just asking people to interact with us and give us some feedback of what's been their biggest takeaway. But
Sure.
what we can do is go right into follow-up funnels. What is the concept of follow-up funnels? Do we have to maybe map out idea of an email copy first before we go into the follow-up? How do you want to teach the format here?
I just want to teach people in a way that's going to make them feel empowered and excited and eager to go use the Go High Level platform in order to implement all the things we're going to share with them today. Was that a good answer?
That is awesome. Let's do
Okay.
it.
So first, let's talk about why you'd want to do a follow-up funnel, and then we'll just kind of kick into what they are and why they matter and all that good stuff. So continuing our slides on the happy slide background, which I'm like loving this even more. I might have to end up violating your copyright and just start using this on all my stuff too, because it's like just such a happy slide. So follow-up funnels though are all about building relationships on autopilot. And the primary way that we're going to talk about today is using email follow-up sequences to create that follow-up funnel. So that's the majority. Some people might say, well, what's the difference between a follow-up funnel and funnel stacking and all this? Just calm down, Chuckles. If you can't make the follow-up sequence work, don't worry about getting them into another funnel that ain't going to work. So let's talk about how we take somebody from that initial interaction, whether they buy, try, click, sign up, or call and talk to us on the Zoom. How do we follow up with them? What do we say? How do we use that to actually make more sales, cut down on refunds, add value, and build those relationships? See, because if you do this right, not only is this going to help you make more sales, but it's going to increase satisfaction of your customers. It's going to make the customer like you, appreciate you, because you're going to stand out. And I'm going to ask you just real quick, Paulson, have you ever bought something on the internet?
I have.
Have you ever,
Although my wife is better at buying more stuff on the internet than I am, but yes.
dude, whole reason I started selling stuff on the internet is because we had two computers in our house. One had money going out, and I needed a computer to have money coming back in because the going out money was heavy and still is. Have you bought more than one thing online over the years, like lots of stuff?
Yes.
Tell me the name of 10 people that you've bought from that actually have followed up with you.
Oh man. Like
You
an
probably
automated
can't
way? Automated
at
way, or you
all.
mean like anything?
At all. How many, or let me say it a different
Um,
way. How many times have you bought something and you were excited about it and you never heard from the person you bought it from ever again?
Most of the time, 95% of the time. Yeah.
Right. That was a better way to ask the question because you're like, look, he taking on the challenge. He's like, yeah, I'm going to name some people, bro. But you think about, and those of you in the comments tell us, have you ever bought something from someone and you were actually like excited to buy it and weren't necessarily displeased with the product and they ghosted you like a Tinder date at the Mickey D's? I mean, it just didn't happen. And you think about how much time, energy, effort, expense went into you buying whatever that was, and what a wasted opportunity it was by them to not build a relationship with you. Now, I'm sure you can think of people that you've bought stuff from over and over and over and over again. And maybe have you ever been in a situation where you were on somebody's list and then somehow got off their list and you actually went and found them again and did whatever it took to get back on their list? Have you ever done that at least once?
I've done that once or twice. Yep.
Yeah, that's because you wanted to keep having a relationship with that person. That is the level we want to get people to with us. Is people now, these are not psycho customers. These are people that you want to have as a customer. But people that you want to have as a customer to get to the point that if they ever fell off your list, they would go out of their way to get back onto your list. Okay. That's the level of relationship. I'm talking about people buying from you for 5, 10, 15, 20, even 25 years online. I've had people that have done that, have sought me out. I even have people that will email the help desk and be like, hey, I haven't gotten anything from Jim in a while. Am I still on the list? No, for real. I mean, to that point,
Wow.
that's where you want to be. But on the other hand, a lot of people treat their follow-up funnel like a wham bam thank you man. And that's not smart. That's the difference between having a real business and just running a promotion. A promotion, you're like the carnival barker that's selling the slicer, dicer, shredder, julienne, or hoping that it doesn't break on their way to the car. Because by the time they find out that you sold them something that might not have lived up to all the hype, you've already zoomed the carnival on 2 states over. That's not who we want to be. We want to be the person that they know they can come to and they actually seek you out. Imagine somebody's doing a launch of a product or somebody is along those lines, and you have customers reach out to you and say, hey, I see that so-and-so is selling this. What's your affiliate link so I can buy through you? Have that happen all the time too. Have people say, hey, I'm in the market for something like this. What do you use? Do you have an affiliate link for that? Because I'd love to see you get the commission. That's the kind of relationship that you want to have with the people on your list. Okay. So how do you do that? You do that primarily through effective follow-up funnels, which the basis of effective follow-up funnels are emails, sending emails at predetermined intervals with the intention of satisfying the customer and building that relationship. Now, how do we do this? A lot of people have predicted the death of email, have proclaimed the death of email, have proclaimed that email's over, man. I can't tell you how many times, when blogs came out, RSS feeds were going to replace email. No, the marketing email's dead. The whatever's dead. Everybody's going to have an RSS reader. How many of you have an RSS reader? How many even know what an RSS reader is? Okay. Direct to desktop, man. Email's dead. All your customers are just going to have a direct to desktop thing, which never happened. It's the equivalent of when you pull up to a website and it says, hey, this website would like to send you notifications. You can't click no fast enough, because if you don't, they're going to be inundating your browser every half second. Well, the kids under 25 don't use email. Interesting. My grandson, who's 18, has been waiting eagerly for an email from the college of his choice, waiting to see if he's been admitted. See, everybody uses email. In fact, email is the #1 activity that people engage in overall on their phones and computers. It's the #1 daily activity, even ahead of social media. You might not check Facebook every day, but you check your email every day. So email is where you want to be. Email is where you build that relationship. Because everybody has 2 email boxes, Paulson, especially since Gmail made it possible. What is the thing that showed up in you use Gmail, right?
Yep.
Okay. What showed up in your Gmail at not too long ago, within the last few years? What showed up at the top without you even asking for it?
Appointments, calendars. What are we thinking?
The tab. The tabs.
Oh, the tabs.
The
yes.
tabs. What does that tab say? Primary and
secondary.
Primary and promotions. Mine says promotions.
Oh, yeah.
Does yours say promotions?
Well,
so you got primary and Gmail. I got primary, promotions, and social. They automatically started sorting my email for me. So #1, we want to make it into the primary. Now, do you use an email filter? I didn't spell primary right, but it doesn't matter.
I do use the email filter.
Which email filter do you use?
Well,
everybody wants to know so you can defeat it.
Well, we have read, unread. Is that what you mean, or you mean like internal teams versus external?
I use a thing called SaneBox that further filters email.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do that.
Okay, well, you should think about it because, dude, it'll save you a whole lot of time. Okay, because even in the primary, do you find yourself going check, delete? That's how most people check their email. First thing in the morning, they fire up the email and they don't read anything. They start deleting. And what do you base the deletion on? Who it's from and what it's about. Don't know you, not sure you got here, I don't care, go away. I know you, not something I'm interested in, go away. So in the end, the only emails that get read are the emails in the primary box from a person that we know about a topic we care about. And we judge that based on the subject line. That's it. 99% of all emails, at least in my, and by the way, that statistic is wrong, like 99% of other statistics you'll be given. The vast majority of emails, even the ones that make it in the primary box, don't get read. So that's what you're up against. And in the comments, say whether you agree with me or not. I can teach you and will teach you a sequence of emails that give you the best shot at building that relationship. But if you don't understand the psychology basics behind email, if you look at most people's emails, especially the ones that you're deleting, you would realize that they don't even understand this. So they work so hard to sell you the thing, to get you the email, and then they blow it by either having the email come from someone or something that you don't recognize, and they write a subject line that absolutely is not something you care about. It's obviously a pitch. And after a couple of times, if you do make it into the primary and you ignore it or they hit spam or whatever, it all of a sudden goes to the promo one. How many of you actually check the promo tab, the promotions tab in your Gmail? I haven't looked at that in probably 2 to 3 years. I'm happy it goes over there. Same thing with the social. I've never looked at the social one, ever. Never popped the top on that. So this is where the game is. Who's it from? What's it about? Do I care? Every single email, you're playing that game. Well, this sucks, Jim. I thought that I was just going to be able to send these emails and get cash. This sucks. You're telling me I have to think? Yes, I'm telling you I have to think. Now, let's talk about what makes a great email. It's actually real simple. And I'm going to teach you a little trick. And yeah, there are AI tools, write your emails, do all that stuff. It's just, we're not even getting into that. If you don't understand this, you won't know if the email that the AI kicks out is any good anyway. It's kind of like the people that ask for the slides at the beginning of the presentation. You get in there, you get ready to go. Excuse me. Yes. Can I have the slides? Are we going to get the slides? I'm like, dude, how do you know you want the slides? You haven't even seen the presentation yet. I've never understood that, man. Anyway, I had a friend. His name is George. George is in heaven now. George, I met 2003. And he was in sorry, start thinking about George and I get a little emotional. George was just a really sweet dude. And George was like the embodiment of my ideal customer. He was a nice guy. He understood who his target audience was. He was not super tech savvy, but he was eager to learn and he had an open mind and just he was the perfect embodiment. So whenever I write an email, I envision George as the recipient. Okay. Now, if George is getting an email from me, and in order to get George to open it, who's it going to be from? Paulson. Who's it going to be from? Right. So in the from field, what's it going to say?
A person's name.
Jim Edwards. Right. Okay. Yeah. So from.
And Jim I'm just thinking about all the folks that put up a brand and they have it coming from the company name. You know, it's like you're just getting started. Why are you doing that to yourself?
Ignorant. I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. Sorry. Okay. From Jim Edwards. Okay. Now, subject line. You think George is going to respond to an email subject line about your first $1 million?
Uh, probably not. I
No,
need some, yeah.
it's going to be around a benefit or an event. It's also going to be relatively short because do we write big, long email subject lines to our friends? No. Hey, Paulson, check this out, dude. That's literally what like I sent you an email
It
this
needs to
morning. Okay.
it needs to imitate a personal email,
No,
essentially.
it doesn't need to imitate. It needs to be a personal email. Like what I sent you, I'm just looking, I spent ask Paulson about GHL and GHL about downloads. That that was
It
it.
was one sentence. Yeah.
The other one I sent you, day 3, lots of examples on board. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, it's not about simulating a real person. It's about being a real
Being a real
person.
person. Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if somebody just bought something from you and they're looking for a download and you had just sold it to them in person, what would the subject line be?
If they had just came in for a download, here's your stuff that you
Here's
just
your stuff.
downloaded.
Here's your download. Here's your ebook.
Um,
Not anything else. It's like, here's your download, or it might be the topic. Hey, here's your report download you just asked for. Hey, here's the whatever. We need to start teaching people like, or treating people like people, not people like numbers or number, like just it's a person on the other end of that. Okay. So start thinking of these people. You might sell a million things, but you're going to sell it one person at a time. You might have 10,000 views of your sales letter, one person at a time. It's a person. Benefit, event, short. One of my most successful headlines I've ever used, I'm going to share this with you for an event. Okay. Some of you use it, some of you won't, because you can have some blowback on this because it's so good. First name. Are we still on for 1 o'clock? That's for when you have a webinar at 1 o'clock. You do that, be ready for some show ups. Also, be ready for some people to give you some blowback on that one too. I don't know you. I had it. I'd had it anyway. I'll share it with you one day. Okay, so from subject line. Now there's pre-head. Now because everybody's got screens that are like this long, like I literally have a 4-foot wide screen now, one of those curved jobbies. And so I can read like the beginning of the whole email in that thing. We think about that as the pre-head. But that's the start of the email. That's how you can start previewing the email. It's part of the reason why they delete it. So we have the subject line and we have the pre-head. Jim Edwards, here's your download. Hey, Paulson, here's your ... You're like, yeah, okay, this is to me. This is I think I know who this dude is. I did just ask for a download and they know my name. Let me do what? Open the
download it.
email. No,
Yeah.
not even download.
Oh yeah.
You haven't even opened the email yet. I know that you guys are, oh, is he just going to get to the damn emails or not? You got to understand how to do this so you can have 20, 30, 40, 50% open rates. Average open rate is like 5% on follow-up emails. Why? Because the emails suck. That's why they don't get opened. It's not that email doesn't work. It's that the emails that are getting sent suck a lemon. Okay? So, pre-head, usually some kind of personalization or a secondary benefit. All right? Here's your download. Get ready for more, whatever the thing is. Okay, now they've opened it. How are they going to know if it's not spam? Or how are they going to know if it's really for them? What's the number one way they're going to know that it's for them? That you actually might know who they are and might not have just harvested their email off of somewhere or bought it on the dark web along with their blood type, social security number, home address, and the security code for their Simply Safe.
I mean, it shows up in the primary versus everywhere else, right?
Yeah, but they've opened the email. Now we've gotten that magic open of the email. What's the first thing they should see to know that it's for them?
Attention or their name,
Their
comma.
name. Yep. That's it. If you were my friend or you knew who I was, the first thing in that email is going to be, hey, Paulson. You're like, okay, I think I know who this. Let me, remember when we talked about the sales letter? Each part of the sales letter, the purpose of that part is to get them to the next part. Literally, it's a bucket brigade. That's not literally, but it's virtually a bucket brigade of ideas. And all this stuff is happening so fast you don't even realize it. Okay. Okay, I know who this is. This looks like something. Hey, there's that. It's me. I'm in. I'm open. They know who I am. What's next? Now, whatever the purpose of the email is, that's where you tell the story. However, or whatever the subject of the email is, the reason for sending the email is where you tell the story. What do you think is the actual purpose of the majority of the marketing emails that are getting sent?
In
What's
today's
the end
world,
run? Yep. What's the purpose? What is my purpose in sending that email the vast majority of the time?
getting them to take an action of some kind.
And that action most likely is going to be to,
Buy
you can't sell
or
in the email. Nope. Bucket
show up to
brigade.
something.
And what do they have to do?
Go to the next section
And
and download.
bro, what am I doing here? I can't show it.
Clicking.
Yes, click. The whole
I'm
no, dude. The whole purpose of the majority of the emails that you're going to send is to get somebody to click. But if you read the damn email, you wouldn't think that was the purpose of the email. I'm getting positively elementary here, but you all got to understand this. If the purpose of the email is to get somebody to click something, then stop telling them anything that has nothing to do with them making a decision to click. You cannot sell in an email. It don't happen. How many times have you ever opened an email, entered your credit card, and bought from the email? Never. The email is a step, and I know I'm coming off as like kind of an ass right now, but you gotta understand this, because this is the difference between crushing it and getting crushed. Whatever the purpose is or the reason for sending it, 99 times out of 100, in my experience, the purpose of the email is to get somebody to click, to either show up to something, go get more information, or take an action like buy something or register or book an appointment or to read or whatever it is. The only real exception to this is when the purpose of the email is to be the delivery vehicle of some sort of value, like a newsletter, like an article. But even video, most people were not delivering video in the
email. Yeah, it's
email itself. People, oh no, wait, you could put a YouTube in there and somebody can click on it and watch it right there in their thing. But you don't have any conversion mechanism from that. Everybody wants to talk about the exception to the rule, okay? We want to understand that if our objective is first for them to know who we are, see what it's about, and open it. Then once they've opened it, we need to give them just enough information to get them to take the action we want them to take. No more, no less. I'll give you an example. Even when we know people, dude, do you have that friend who sends you email that you're like, oh, I love this dude, but I don't have time for this right now. I don't have time for this right now. I got one today. Friend of mine. Love it. Dude, I don't have time for this right now. And then it sits there. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to open, I got to do. And then you're just like, it's like you take this deep breath in and you're like, zoom, 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 like speed reading the thing, trying to get through it and then figure out what's the shortest reply. Because if I don't reply to this, I'm going to be really rude, but I got to reply. But how can I reply like really fast?
Oh, that's
Okay.
funny.
You don't want to be that guy when you're doing the marketing. Okay. It's like, hey man, this is going to be amazing. I'm doing this class. It's going to be amazing. I think you're going to love it. You're going to talk about this, 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 and this. I'd love to see you there. If you click here, you can sign up and it's going to be amazing. That's what we're trying to do with all these messages. It's like, hey, you just bought this. I know you're excited, super excited. Glad to have you. Welcome to the team. Here's the link to get it. If you have any problems, let us know. Talk to you soon, Jim. And be like, hey, this dude doesn't waste my time. Now, some people are like, well, Jim, you've sent long emails. Sure, rules are made to be broken. But when you're thinking about, when you're setting these things up, this is what you need to think about, okay? Great email. They know who it's from, subject prehab, their name in the thing, get to it, call to action. Then you have the close and the PS. Because most people will skim and scan, remember? And then they're going to read that PS. So the PS needs to do what? Reiterate the benefit and tell them, take the action.
Call to action. Yeah.
Right. Which is to click the link. That's it. Okay. That's this. This is, I'm really trying to save you all a ton of time, energy, and effort. Okay. Okay. So, any questions on this? Was that too much detail or was this helpful?
No, this is really helpful because it lays out the foundation and the basics of the structure of the email and why you are aiming for that structure and the psychology behind it. Because we often get people, Jim, especially in the high level world, they just get excited with high level that they can send out a ton of emails and cool things and segment and they get into the mechanics, but they're not thinking about the psychology. So I'm personally loving this so far.
So the
I
hashtag
am.
so far. Hashtag so far. Biggest question is, why am I sending this email? What's my purpose in sending this email? And when I understand that the hoops I got to jump through, that's going to guide you to create a much better communication. Okay. That's the bottom line on this. So now what I'd like to do is we're going to go to the board and we're going to talk about a specific follow-up sequence that you can use as the basis to create your own follow-up sequence. And I think that's going to be really helpful for people. But you know what? Before we do that, I want to talk for just a second about the software we use, which is Go High Level. And we've made arrangements for you to be able to have a 30-day free trial. That's twice the normal free trial, an entire month to try it out, put it to the test. You'll even get my snapshot templates and training, which includes an 11 email follow-up sequence that's in that puppy that you can load into your edition of Go High Level and adapt based on what I'm going to teach you in this training. That alone should get you excited and want to sign up for the 30-day free trial, just so you can get your your happy little hands on all those emails that you can repurpose. And you can do that by going to gohighlevel.com/Jim Edwards offers. And when you stick around till the end, Paulson's going to tell you, if you already have a Go High Level account, how you're going to be able to get your hands on that snapshot. So you're absolutely going to want to stay tuned for that. But go to gohighlevel.com/Jim Edwards offers. This can't last forever, so go sign up today. All right, so now this onboarding funnel email sequence that I'm about to help you with. You call this a follow-up funnel, onboarding funnel. I don't care what you call it, okay? But what this is a systematic communication that is going to get people to not only they've already signed up or bought, but it's going to get them to buy more stuff. And more importantly, to see you as a valuable resource and start looking forward to your emails. So I will tell you that you don't have to use all of these, and you don't necessarily have to use them in this order, except for the first couple. Okay. So you can mix and match these. After we go through this one, then I'm going to show you some other derivations. And if anybody's doing events, if you're doing webinars, you're doing lives, you're doing stuff like that, I will share with you, if y'all want, the sequence that I use not only to promote an event, but to get more signups, more show ups, and more sales. And I have never shared this before. If you want that, if you don't want that, then we'll just end early. So it's up to you. Only for the first 22 people. So, okay. Now this is for when somebody buys something or they do something for free. All right. Now this is kind of like the whole enchilada thing. I'm going to show you another example where when somebody does something for free that you can get more to the wham bam thank you ma'am thing, and we'll talk about the why you might want to do that as opposed to this one. Okay, but this is the one. This is what I start with. So when somebody buys something or they sign up for something, the first email they're going to get is basically a welcome email. This is an acknowledgement email. This is a saying, hey, thanks for buying. Thanks for registering. Thanks for signing up. Thanks for whatever action they took. Thanks for doing that. And then you're going to tell them, the single biggest thing that they should do. One of the things that just destroys your response on email is having multiple ideas and multiple calls to action. Excuse me. That is a killer. So you want to emphasize the single biggest thing they should do. So if somebody's signing up for an event, it's mark your calendar right now. Put this link in your calendar right now so that you'll get a reminder and you will be able to show up. If they just bought something, here, click this link right now, go over, create your account, and download or watch this video. Click the quick start, whatever. Watch this. Tell them the number one thing they should do that will get them started on being satisfied with the thing that they just bought. It takes away the guesswork. It takes away the apprehension of, that time between when they hit the buy button and, we talked about when they hit the buy button before they get the confirmation page. It's the world of all possibilities. After they've gotten to the confirmation page, now they're in the world of, did they rip me off? Did I make a mistake? Holy crap. Where's my download? I'm telling you, man, you think about your own feelings and stuff on that. Now what we got to do is we got to grab them, bring them in out the cold like a poor neglected puppy dog, fix them a bed by the stove, feed them some, table scraps, pet them, and tell them they're awesome. Okay. So that's like immediately. Don't make them wait. That should go out immediately, toot sweet, fast, and in a hurry. Now, next email they get, and before you ask in the stuff, I'm assuming this is going every day. Each one of these emails is going the next day. So the next day you're getting this one, then this one, this one. You mean to tell me you're going to send email to these people 11 days in a row? Yes, that's what I'm telling you, because I want them to either become my friend and look at me as a trusted, valuable resource, or I want them to unsubscribe, but not refund. Just being really honest with you. Okay. I want to condition them to look forward to emails from me or just not get email from me. So the next day, I'm going to send them a thank you for your order, or a thank you for signing up, or a thank you for registering, or a thank you for requesting the thing. All right. Now this might vary on an event, especially if the event's like by the way, half of all the signups you ever get for your events are going to come on the day of the event, just so you know. And what I want to do in this email is I want to reinforce one reason why they bought or signed up. hey, I just wanted to say thanks. We're so excited. We know that this is going to help you to get this benefit, and this benefit. Can't wait to hear about your success. As a reminder, here's the download link. Here's the login link. Here's the link for our help desk in case you have any problems. Again, why am I doing this? Well, because they might have missed that welcome email. It might have ended up in spam because it was long. It had a bunch of links. It had whatever. So I want to send a shorter email that might have a better chance of making it past their spam filters where they're like, oh, okay, damn, I thought they ripped me off. I guess I can get off the phone with Visa and stop doing that chargeback because here's the email that I've been looking for because I was, being psycho. So this is a short, quick email to say thank you, which automatically makes you stand out because nobody says thank you anymore. Reinforce the reason they bought, make sure they can get the thing that they signed up for. Next, the next day, we want to help them get a quick win. Nothing makes somebody like you more than you helping them actually get the result that they wanted from what they signed up or bought. Nothing makes them happier. It's like Paulson said, the number one thing we want to do with a new sign up is get them on a Zoom so that we can at least get them on a Zoom. Because the win is if we can get them to log in and understand the basics of where to go and what to look for and what they're trying to get done, we got a much higher probability of them sticking.
Yeah, and as you're sharing this, I'm thinking about our sequence. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have an 11-step sequence for someone who just signs up, and every single email sequence and text, the main intention is for them to jump on a Zoom call with the human being inside of High Level. Doesn't even matter what the call isn't even about. It just, if we can interact with a human to human level, more than likely the trial will convert or stick on. That's thousands and thousands of trials we've tested out. And we literally have so far what you're describing in our system.
Right. And so one of my customers, really good customer, a guy named Joe, and we'll tell you if that's a fake name or a real name, but we'll call him Joe. Joe had a problem, with signing up for the free trial and stuff, contacted. Bottom line, y'all got on a Zoom with them and got the thing sorted out or in the process of getting sorted out. I think there's something going on. But the bottom line is you got them on a Zoom and it went from a bad experience to a good experience. Okay. Yeah. What is the thing that if they do it, will get them the quickest win? So like with my SaaS, the thing that we tell people to do, go watch the quick start video and then create an avatar. If I know that if they will watch the quick start video and they will take that first step, we have a infinitely greater chance of keeping them long-term than if they don't. So it's like maybe you won't remember, but have you ever seen a picture of like those old black and white pictures of those guys on the river and they would like cut logs and they'd go down in the river and then they'd float them down the river to the sawmill, and then you had the guys standing on the logs with the poles trying to get rid of the log jam, and that entire log jam is caused by one log. Figure out what the one log is, the one roadblock, the one missing circuit connection that if they make that, it opens up the floodgates to success for the customer. It could be just as simple as telling them, hey, if you haven't already, go here, download the thing. And I've done this with ebooks and stuff I sold. Download it and go to page 16 and read the 10 reasons why people buy. And if you understand, when I saw those 10 reasons the first time, it changed my life, and I know it'll change your life too. Just by understanding those 10 reasons why people buy and applying them to your own sales copy. And what do you know? People do that. They read it. That means what does it mean? See, they've downloaded the thing and they've started reading it. And have at least gotten some goodness for them to say, wow, when I have time, this is good. I need to come back and read this. Now, whether they come back and read it or not, I'm going to try and get them to. But if I can get them involved and get them a win, they'll at least say, hey, I made a good decision. And when I have time, I'll start getting busy with this. Next email that you want to send. The next email that you want to send is basically either your epiphany, your story, but you want to tell the story of the product. You want to tell the story behind what they bought or how you came to create the thing, because it explains why you can give them what they need. It explains why they made a good choice, not just about the product, but a great choice about you, because they bought a product, but I want the relationship with them with me, so they'll buy more stuff. Why do I want them to buy more stuff? Because my stuff's the best stuff, and I believe that in my heart, and I have a duty to make sure they know what I got and how it's going to help them. That's my mission, is to help the people, and the money is a result.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Can I add some color here? So
Sure.
if you ever notice in the world of high level, as a high level brand, we don't often use personal branding as a mechanism. So it's not one person. You see like almost six, seven figures across high level, right? And that's intentional. So if you kind of value something similarly, you can, as an organization, make clear what you stand for and what you don't stand for. And it has similar effects as like one person that's just like, eating the ecosystem or controlling the ecosystem from a branding standpoint. I just wanted to add that color because a lot of companies, a lot of SaaS founders that are here or SaaSpreneurs that are starting off, you automatically think it's a good thing to just put your face and name on everything. And at some point, you get to a world where the company has outgrown the entrepreneur that started the company. And that's when you kind of see the differences of like the power of having an organizational brand position. But anyways, I'll get off my soapbox on that. But there is that option to stand up and say, this is what we as a company believe versus a person, as another note.
Right. And for a SaaS, for a company, for a software, you're 100% right, because we struggle with that a little bit with my SaaS. Not that much though, because people know it's just, I mean, I'm the character. It is what it is. But I also understand that and give, like, elevate the team around me. So you say you got 6 or 7 characters. We have but we also have like attractive characters in our organization that people know, and they have their favorites and stuff.
Yep.
For like an author or somebody like that, I mean, you got to be the face.
Yes, yes.
So, but the story of the company, the story of the software, the story of the product, your story, the origin, the mission, all that stuff, whatever strategically makes the most sense for you to do, this is the step that you want to do it in. Because if you look at it psychologically, if we look at this, and the only regret I have from college is that I probably, instead of majoring in history, I should have majored in psychology. But if you think about the stress here, we've welcomed them, we've satisfied that itch. We thanked them, we had good manners, we made sure they got it. We try and get them a quick win with what they just bought. And now we want them to understand the why behind what we do, whether it's a company or an individual or what have you. So now we're starting to draw them in. So after that, the next thing is I want them to know that we're more than just this product. So now I want them to start following us on social media. I want them to understand that they can join the tribe to as much or as little as they want. And we have that built into our onboarding sequence too. Watch the quick start, do this, and join the Facebook group. That's a part of it. And so this, now their product's amazing. They're getting a result. They're getting to know us. The people who are interested in doing it, we get them engaged outside of the email, so that in case email ever gets blocked, we want to have all these different ways that we can communicate with them in case one gets cut off. So then, well, now we're all connected. We're friends now. By golly, I got a little bonus here for you. Something really cool that I think you'll love. Let me throw in, you know what? I went to a bagel shop a couple weeks ago up near my mom's house. And I said, I'll take a dozen everything bagels. And they had just come out of the back. So, ooh, they're fresh. I said, yes, they are. I love these things. He said, oh, wow, that's awesome. Here, I'll give you a baker's dozen. You know what that is? I'm like, yeah, it means you're going to give me an extra one so I can eat it in the car and nobody will know I had an extra. And he started laughing because I had to get a dozen. But just throwing in a little something extra, something they didn't expect. Or if you're cheap and not a nice person, you could just point out to them a bonus they already got that they might not have realized was so amazing if you want to be chintzy on them. But my point is that how many times have you ever had somebody actually take you through a sequence like this?
Not me.
Last time you bought from me. So my point is here's a little something extra. It could be a training. It could be a report. It could just be a 10-minute video where you give them a really cool tip. Just something. And if anything, you don't want it to be so involved that it feels like you just dumped homework on them. What you want, a bonus should feel like a Christmas present, should feel like a birthday present. Okay. Should feel like, oh, holy crap, this is neat. Let me play with this a little bit,
Yeah.
So that's now, but what have we done? We welcomed them. We thanked them. We helped them get a quick win. We explained why we do what we do to dimensionalize ourselves, either as a person or a company. We're starting to engage them outside of the email. And now we dumped extra goodies on them. What do you like, my rich uncle that I've been looking for all these years? That's amazing. Then what we want to do is we want to inspire them. So we want to give them something to aspire to. So now this is where we share a customer success story. We share a case study, some type of inspiring example that they can learn from, that they can look at or say, man, if that chucklehead can get this kind of result, I know I can because he looks dorky. And so now, psychologically, what have we done? Think about this like a conversation. They're like, oh man, this stuff works. Maybe I should actually go download this. Maybe I should actually log in and use this. Maybe I can, oh, that gives me an idea of how I might be able to use this. Let me start doing this. And so, especially a SaaS, people buy because they want to use your software as a service to get a result. Show them people who are getting a result.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anybody that you can send, then by golly, you better go grab some customer by the neck and get the result for them. Drag them kicking and screaming to success. That's what I always say. So then, once you've done that, now what we want to do is we want to start giving them stuff that will help them get results faster. So I like to send them a speed hack. How can I want to point out a cool feature in the software or a tool that they can use in conjunction with what they just bought from me? But like, here's the fast button. Here's the time machine. Here's the fast forward to results. Because time, energy, and money are all basically the same thing. They're just a different form of the exact same energy. Time, energy, and money are all the same thing. Okay. As far as people are concerned. Now, I'm going to show you how to get a result super quick. Hey, how'd you like to get this done in 3 minutes? By just clicking this link and that's, okay, great example. That snapshot, the snapshot that you get when you sign up through that special link for Go High Level, the snapshot that we're offering, that's a speed hack. Anytime somebody offers you a snapshot, that can be framed as a speed hack. Why? Because you ain't got to write the sales letter. You just have to adapt the template I gave you. You don't have to write the 11 emails. You just have to adapt the emails. Whoa, that's good. You like how I tied that in?
I do. And
Okay,
I
so
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh,
No, no, I was gonna say, I'm curious on those of you that don't have high level yet and you're really considering jumping into high level on a 30-day trial.
risk free.
If you are considering that, I may throw in a bonus here, just out of my hands here, just as fun. But I'll tell you about it after we get through these sequences. Keep
Can I
going.
have it too? I'm already signed up. I'm already a member. I'm already a subscriber. Do I get it? By the way, that's a really good example of don't forget to dance with the ones who brung you. And so you remember with you, I'm going to digress for just a second, but this is an important point. Do you remember those old Sports Illustrated commercials where, if you join Sports Illustrated, you'll get the bikini model, you didn't get the model, I guess you got the swimsuit issue, you got the Super Bowl champion thing, you got the thing from
The
do you remember all
calendars
those?
and stuff, the
Yeah, yeah,
calendars. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. The problem is that they had in not so big, small print only for new subscribers.
Mm.
And like, if you were already a subscriber, you're like, okay, well, where's my cool calendar? Where's my VHS tape with my team and stuff on it? You didn't get it, which kind of pissed you off. So my point is that if you come out with new bonuses, or you update your bonuses, or you come out with new stuff and add it to your product, the smartest thing you could do is just give those if you're giving those bonuses away with a new purchase, just give them to your old customers. Don't try and be slick. Well, I'll sell it to you for half price again so you can. No, dummy. If you're giving away a free bonus to new customers, give the free bonus to your existing customers and make a big deal out of it. And that's going to reinforce the relationship, and it's going to keep you on their radar as well.
Yeah, especially if it increases their usage of using your thing more than anything else, or your services or interaction with you, whatever. It just creates more noise and buzz towards your business.
And it just plain makes them think you're a nice person. And no, seriously, dude, sometimes
Yeah.
there's more value in people just thinking, you know what? Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I mean, that's just a little gratitude goes a long way in this world, in this crazy online world where it's cold and cruel and no one cares. I care, everybody. Okay, so the next thing, we then want to send them an effort hack. We want to point out a feature or a hack or something that is going to help them to get fast results, but by not having to do much of anything. Okay. Now, again, look at the snapshot. Instead of you having to load up 11 different emails, you can click a link. It loads the 11 emails in, and all you have to do is just do a quick edit on them, and they're ready to tie into the follow-up sequence of any funnel that you want to use it for. That's a pretty good, don't have to do much. Okay. Now, what I said, difference between speed, effort, time, energy, effort, all that stuff's basically the same thing. It's however you want to frame it. Now, obviously, it would be a different thing. It's like, hey, here's this cool feature. It's going to save some time. The next day, it's like, hey, here's the same cool feature. It's going to save you a bunch of effort. Normally, you'd want to point out some different stuff. Okay. Then, next thing you want to do is you want to engage them with past stuff you've done. This is going to show that you have some depth, that you're more than just some fly-by-night carnival barker selling it slices, it dices, it chops, it juliennes. And this is where you want to get them involved with stuff that isn't necessarily on social media. So your blog, any tips, other stuff that you've done, just stuff that they're going to look at and go, dang, that's pretty good. Maybe a YouTube video you've done that's really amazing. We're just trying to pour value onto them, and we're trying to we're trying to get them engaged in so many different places that we just become a part of their lives. Okay. And then the last thing you want to do in the sequence is to ask for feedback. Hey, how can we improve this? What do you want next? Take a quick poll. Give us some feedback. Are you excited? Can we get a testimonial? All those things. And this kind of closes the loop on this first dating cycle. And now people, oh, well then, and I love people. People are amazing. People are awesome.
Now,
Because I know the
quick,
can I
quick
just finish this
question on
one?
this.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Let me just finish this thought. When this is done, after they've gotten that email, I want them going into my database where I send an email on Sunday, I send an email on Wednesday, and then we have at least one more teaser throughout the week. So now they've gone from this sequence, they've gone into general population, and it's probably not good to have a prison metaphor, but they've gone into Gen Pop. And they're going to get an update at a minimum on Sunday and Wednesday. And then if they buy or sign up for something else, they stay in Gen Pop, but then they're going to go into another sequence for whatever it is and then they're going to pop out of that and they're back in Gen Pop until they do something else. So that's just wanted to finish off that thing, because people are like, well, then do I have them put them in another sequence and another sequence and another sequence? You can, but that's tough. It's more put them in Gen Pop and keep a relationship going with them instead of just, anyway, go ahead. I'm done.
No, you're good. And to that point, Jim mentioned, there is something called smart lists inside of high level that allows you to tag different sequences of where they are in the journey. So you could take somebody from, I don't know, Gen Pop to what is the other thing? I don't know,
Just
the
a
other
follow-up
divisions.
sequence. I mean,
Right.
yeah, and there's a specific follow-up funnel based on something they did, which is they either bought or they signed up.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
if you want to, like when they're in this sequence, you could have them not in Gen Pop. So if I don't want them, I don't want to have any more emails. They're not getting the Sunday email or the Wednesday email or the updates or stuff like that until they pop out of this sequence that they're in. They're out of solitary confinement. They're back in Gen Pop. They're able to buy their commissary and eat with all the other inmates until something else happens that I need to isolate them in the shoe. So there you go. Watching too much of that Oz or whatever it was on HBO. So,
I've got two big questions for you, Jim. Two big
okay.
questions.
Yep.
First question, going back to that 11-step sequence you were sharing on the slide, what is your intention through the steps? Are you is a call to action to take the next step, or like what is your preference? I told you for us at high level, our preference call to action is jump on a Zoom, jump on a Zoom, jump on a Zoom, jump on a Zoom.
So again, I'm giving you a framework to fish rather than handing you the
Sure.
fish.
Yeah.
So let's recap real quick the intention of each one of these emails, and then let's address what you're saying. Okay. So in this case, and really this is a sequence that somebody has bought or someone has paid money or is really paying attention. So it's like, hey, here's the thing. So email number one is, here's the thing, and here's how you get it so that you don't freak out. Second one is, hey, I want to show you I'm a real person. I appreciate you buying, and make sure you got your thing. Third one is, hey, I really want you to start getting a result. So, here's the thing that you should do first. Fourth one is, I want to show that I'm a real person, or that the company's a legit company that cares about you. And I want you to start caring about us. I want to connect with you on an emotional level. This is where we're trying to have it not be transactional. So then the next one is, hey, I want now us to get social. Maybe we can interact back and forth, especially like with authors or creators or stuff like that. People love to touch the hem. They want to be like, oh, wow, Jim Edwards responded to my thing. I'm like, calm down, dude. It's not that big, chill. Then like the bonus email, I once, it's like the guy at the bagel shop. Here's some extra, dude. There's I gotta look this up, but there's a saying for it in Cajun. It's like I think it starts with an L. Somebody in the Facebook say what it is, but it's like a little something extra. It's a cool word, and I just am having a block against it. So I want to make them feel good, And then the customer success story. Why do I want to prove that it isn't just us that it works for? Like this works for real people. So that's going to inspire them, but it's also going to prove that it works. Then the next two are basically designed to help them get a result with the least amount of effort possible. Okay. Then the next one is to try and get the people who are, serious about studying or wanting to know the backstory and stuff like that. And then the last one is to encourage closing that loop on communication. So how could you guys, if the intention throughout this entire thing is to get somebody on a Zoom call, then you got to spin it on each one to the call to action of the Zoom call, but then and also do it in such a way that it's not getting annoying. So the first one is like, welcome, single biggest thing you should do right now, schedule your Zoom call. Let's get on there because it's going to do this for you. Click the link here to get on the calendar. We got people sitting by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, you do have people 24/7 ready to roll, right? Yeah.
That is
So,
true.
I mean, you could be talking to one of our coaches within the next hour or two. If you're ready to roll, we're ready to help you roll. Let's do this. Let's go. Okay, next day. Thank you. Hey, so excited that you signed up for the free trial of Go High Level, or you actually gave us money and went past the thing. If you haven't already, go here right now and schedule your Zoom call because we're going to help you get this set up, this set up, this set up. And these are the things that normally hold people back. As a reminder, here's the link to go log in, and you received your username and password in a different email. Get a quick win. All right, what is the number one thing that's going to be a quick win for these people? In my opinion, it's getting them to point their domain name at Go High Level, because if they get a domain name and the domain name's point at Go High Level, they're committed. So, and the real quick win is getting a dang sales letter set up and making a sale. Because if they'll do that, they don't ever leave because nobody wants to turn the thing off. Okay. So, and if you need help doing this, get on the Zoom. This is what the Zoom call is for. This is what, so if you need help getting your thing figured out or don't know where to go, get on the Zoom call. Okay. I'm writing this thing for you, brother. All right. The story of Go High Level. We're on a mission. We saw other funnel builders. We saw the things that we liked, the things that we didn't like, and we realized that what was missing from these was the personal touch. It felt like those other funnel builder softwares were just about the money instead of the people. But we know that the people are what make Go High Level go to the next level. So one of the ways we do that is by putting people first. And we made a commitment that no one would ever sit at home wondering what to do, lost, and then have to pay for someone to get them started on our platform. And we committed right then that we would make a free Zoom call available to everyone.
This is real, right? This is real.
Yeah.
This is really how we do this.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not just an example sake.
Yeah, I mean, this because this is real. I'm not teaching stuff. See, here's the thing. A lot of people either teach theory or they teach something that they're rehashing from someone else that they're making more complicated to make it seem like they're smarter than the person they stole it from. So the next one is the let's get social. Okay. Hey, we're a real community. And as such, we have not only customer service people that are monitoring our help desk, but we also have customer service people that are monitoring social, but our community is here to help too. And so you want to become a part of the community, whether it's learning how to do this or about new features, or about this other stuff. And by the way, if you haven't already, one of the ways that you can dip your toe in super quick is to jump on the Zoom call. So then the bonus thing, I mean, every one of these things just spins to the fact that you care, the fact that it's people, that they are not just another number or subscriber on a board that they like to show everybody and brag about how many subscribers you have and how much money you're making, but yet your customer service is outsourced to fifth world countries on another planet, um, or whatever it is. And that's not directed at anybody or anything in particular. It's just in general, when you're selling against something, you got to know what the competitors are doing so you can point out what makes you different. And what makes you guys different is that you started with the idea of community and have kept community at the forefront, whether it's your community or helping your SaaSpreneurs and your agency owners to have the tools that they need to foster their community. You like how I did that?
I do like that.
That's good stuff, right? So that's it. And that customer success one, dude, that's so easy. I'm almost embarrassed to do this one. Here's Sarah. Sarah struggled to do this. Sarah was able to do what she needed to do. You see where I'm going with this? And Sarah's journey with Go High Level started with a Zoom call with one of our team members that got her started. And it's like, holy crap, I want to be just like Sarah. Okay. And then the speed hack, you'd give them the speed hack and you're like, and the fastest thing you can do right now to get yourself to the next step and Go High Level is get on that Zoom call. The effort hack. Hey, instead of sitting there combing through all of the help videos and the stuff and looking on YouTube, you could just jump on a Zoom with one of our highly skilled people and they can get this sorted out for you in probably 5 seconds. Go ahead, click it. You want to. And then the content and other stuff. I mean, dude, it's a knockdown. Paulson,
love it.
Is that what you were looking for?
That's beautifully said. Question number 2.
Do I get ribs in a couple of weeks for that one?
Absolutely, man. I told our internal team, hey, Jim Edwards, when he comes to the conference, wants to get ribs. We're gonna go to Terry Black's. We've got to make it happen. I'm trying to raise an army over here in the behind the scenes to make that
All
happen.
right, the rib army.
Question number 2. That was my first question, beautifully addressed. Number 2, since we're talking about follow-ups and follow-up experiences, a lot has changed in the world of marketing. From your opinion, what is the role of text messaging with relation to these emails? Like, when do you leverage text messages at all? Like, do you even do that? I mean, what are your opinions? What are your thoughts? We would love to kind of get your feedback, especially on a brand new purchase. Do you text them and say, hey, look for an email that I just sent? Or do you just say, hey, come join me on a Zoom? Like, whatever that is. What are your thoughts?
Do you want my 100% honest, unfiltered answer to all of this?
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Okay. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I don't do text at all. And I'll tell you the reason why. And then I'm going to answer the question even more, because I've seen text used very, very effectively. I've also seen it used like a baseball bat in a china shop and not real good. So the reason why we don't mess with it is it just it hadn't hurt bad enough to start using it. And I haven't seen where it was really going to be that advantageous. And I want to train people to do email and funnel all the support stuff straight to our help desk. Because we're even though we're doing millions of dollars, we are a relatively small company. We have, 4, 5 employees and I'm one of them. So we're not big. And so I think you also see that I'm very much a keep it simple. The more details you have, the more stuff that can go wrong. So that's why I never really took up the habit.
I love this, by the way, because people think just because you have a new whistle that you have to just use it, or a new tool that you have to use it. Like, plenty of features inside of High Level that you don't need all the time.
So where I've seen it used very well is as a reminder tool to have people showing, like to the Zoom thing.
Yeah.
If the other thing is it's not just getting them signed up for the Zoom call, it's getting them to show up
Follow
to
up.
the Zoom call. And I have seen, even with me, I have seen text used extremely effectively to remind me about a Zoom call. Oh yeah, I knew. Oh, and then stuff happens. It's like, oh yeah, my Zoom call's in 5 minutes. I need to be there. Now, on the flip side, if you're going to send me that, make sure that the text has the right Zoom link in it. I've seen that get jacked up. And then somebody's sitting in a room, I'm sitting in another room, and then they're getting huffy with me, like, dude, I was on the link that you sent, bro. So, that's where I've seen it used extremely effectively is in conjunction um with appointments.
Events. Yeah.
Okay, with
Got it.
appointments, with events, and also with, again, an appointment, an event, tomato, tomato, an appointment to talk to a person as an appointment to go to an event. Like, hey, the webinar starting in
Two
30 minutes. Here's
minutes.
the link.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Here's the link.
Yes.
Very effective. I think of like the whole, and that actually I'm a little jealous that we don't. But again, is the juice worth the squeeze at this point? Maybe. I don't know. Is what it is. It's another thing that people can bitch about. And I know you shouldn't build your marketing around what people will and will not complain about, but after a while it's like, you just weigh the pros and cons. But that to me is the best use. Like, hey, webinar starting, where are you? Oh yeah, 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 okay. Anything to increase a show up rate. On the flip side, and I was going to say, it's like salt. The right amount of salt makes anything taste better, including breakfast cereal. Salted caramel. Too much salt makes you want to puke and can make you sick. So the texting every day reminder for the webinar, nah, no. Hey, your your appointment with so and so is coming up in 29 days, bro. Okay, no. The other one that I just think is really stupid is like the psycho girlfriend text of, "Hey, I just sent you an email. Go check it out." You have got to be kidding me. But I see people, it's like, hey, I just got this new toy. Let me send them a text to tell them to read their email.
The psycho girlfriend. That's so
I
funny.
mean, that's, but you know what I'm saying? That's like,
Yes,
dude,
I get
what are
it.
you thinking? And I guess what kind of scares me a little bit more is that people, again, they don't read, they just react.
Mhm.
And when I was really looking at it, and maybe you can address this, but the penalties, it's like the margin for error on the text stuff was a lot lower. The
It
text, it's
is.
like,
Yeah.
and if you get enough complaints that people can just be chuckleheads, then they come to your house and
Yeah.
they beat you with a rubber hose or something. I mean, it's just not a
There
good
is,
experience.
yeah,
So
there is a compliance side to texting, but
yeah,
I appreciate your response here and the full transparency because it's important. I think making sure all perspectives are visited is my goal. We don't have one way of doing things. There's multiple ways to cook up this recipe and let it be extremely effective. So, Jim, let's go back to the slides. I think you have a couple of more, right? If I'm
mhm,
not
yeah.
mistaken. Let's get back on track there.
And I was just going to say one last thing. I'm not disparaging it at all. And I do know people who do it very effectively where they have segments of their audience who only want to get SMS. And so they
Yeah.
have follow-up sequences in the same exact sequence, but instead of it being, a couple, three paragraphs, it's a sentence and a link. And that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So you still think about it the exact same way as far as the psychological interaction. Okay. So just because the old man with the white beard and the tats isn't doing it doesn't mean you shouldn't or can't. Okay. All right. So there you go, kids. Take your screenshot now. 3, 2, 1. Sorry. Okay. So here we go. More follow-up follow-up funnel email sequences. So these are, again, these are suggestions. Now that you understand the structure of a message, you understand your audience, now you can understand how you might structure these and move forward with them. So the first one is free item, lead magnet, quick follow-up funnel. This is if somebody, this is really for downloads or for a like watch a replay or watch a video, or there's a thing that they went and they got, there's like immediate gratification. Checklist, PDF, white paper, whatever you want to call it, video replay, that stuff. So first thing is welcome and deliver the thing. This, you want to talk about crazy, the thing of, I gave my email, where's the thing? I mean, it's just they get all nuts, man. We talked about this though on the opt-in funnel, so I won't revisit that too much. But it's like get them the thing as fast as they can. It's like the 5-year-old at the counter. Yeah, you little rat, you can chew on the candy. Just give me the wrapper so they can scan it. Just so you'll shut up. That's why they didn't let me take the grandsons to the grocery store too much, because they'd come home with a sugar high and sticky hands. So then the second email, the next day, I send them a thank you. Hey, thanks for requesting that. Thanks for doing this. Thanks. I know it's going to help you get this major benefit. Highlight the benefits, give them the link, make sure they can get it. This is especially important if the thing is the conversion mechanism. Okay. It's not that you were setting it up and it's like, I'm going to give you this thing to pay the tax to just let you see what's on the next page because there was a big pitch, which is another way of doing the opt-in funnel. But this is if the thing that their consumption of the thing is what's going to drive the sale, then we want them to consume the thing. Third email is we want to share a relevant story, a case study, or testimonial. Here's the thing. Thanks for the thing. Big benefits of the thing. Here's somebody that used the thing and got a major cool result. So within 48 hours, they've gotten all this stuff. Now, if you want to combine 2 and 3, because your audience has the attention span of a 5-year-old just snorted a pixie stick at midnight on Halloween and down to Jolt Cola and won't go to sleep, then you can combine those 2. When you understand that the purpose here is to get them the thing and get them to view the thing because it's got something that they want. Next, we want to offer a limited time promotion. This is where we hit them hammer, and you want to tie it to, hey, if you thought this thing is pretty cool, here's the thing that you want to do. You want to go buy this, you want to sign up, you want to get the 30-day free trial, you want to jump on the Zoom call, you want to do whatever the thing is, you got to hit them with urgency and scarcity. Next, we want to have, the next email is going to be an FAQ about the thing. Okay, the who, what, where, when, why, how, and how much. Will this work for this? Of course it will. We wouldn't have asked the question or introduced it if it wouldn't, said the copywriter. But an FAQ, here are all the possible questions you could have about the thing, all the cool answers and why this is the only solution. And then you do a cart close. And a cart close is typically a couple of emails. There's the, hey, it's the last time today's the last day. We're going to contact you about this. And then at, I don't know, whatever midnight time zone you use, we do midnight Hawaii time. That basically gives us till 6 a.m. on the East Coast for all the people that all of a sudden, had to visit the hospital. Their dog got abducted by aliens, whatever the reason is, they couldn't take advantage of it. And then you hit them with the last one with the final courtesy notification, and that's what you do. At that point, they go into the Gen Pop list, and they're on your list, and they either pay attention or they unsubscribe or go away. What I have found, and we talked earlier about some changes in marketing. I'm going to share a couple of things. So back in the day, we would do this thing called, back in the day, almost 25 years ago, we would do this thing called a mini course, where through email, we would send you, it was like a product launch with actual information in it. And we would actually teach stuff. And we used email because everybody was on dial-up and there was no video or any of that stuff. And you could get a lot of conversions because people actually had an attention span that went beyond a YouTube short. And what is happening is that people get hot for something and you got to close them faster now than you used to. So just like in that example that I told you about where we were introducing the idea of the Zoom call, if you want to think about these emails moving through, and it's just going to be a visual representation, okay, of, it's not 6 of them, but, like email 1, 2, 3, and 4. If this is content and this is pitch for the thing, if this is making sense. So the first email is like, hey, here's the thing. And oh, PS, by the way, we got this other thing. And then the next one is, hey, thanks. And you got this. And by the way, we got the thing. Okay. The thing that we want you to buy. I mean, this is how much is getting devoted to content versus, hey, you need to do this. We get down here to the end and it's like, cart's closing, chucklehead. Here you go.
With just a free head.
Yeah, if that. It's like they're not even paying attention. And the one that gets them is when you're trying to pull the lollipop out of their mouth, in the checkout line. That's kind of what happens, especially on a free thing. And I'm like, okay, now we're going to get philosophical for just a second. All right. This is one of the biggest lies that marketers tell, or stupid marketers tell, people that don't know what they're talking about. The whole game here is leads, sales, and relationships with your avatar and your offer at the middle. Okay. It's leads, sales, relationships. Not leads, relationships, sales. People who don't know what they're talking about will tell you that you need to get leads, build a relationship with them, and then they'll buy. No, I want people who are hot. I'm going to get them as a lead. I'm going to get them to buy, and then I'm going to build relationships with the people who buy.
Mm.
Because I want relationships with buyers, not with tire kicking looky-loos. Sorry, but that's, I'm a company of 5 people, not 500. I want the people who are super interested enough to put a little bit of money where their mouth is, and then I will seriously invest in that relationship, as any of my customers will tell you. Okay. And so those relationships then turn into leads with other stuff. It's not leads, relationships, sales, unless you have one of those big, long runway cycles and you're selling $100,000, $200,000 stuff. I mean, I'm selling reasonably priced stuff, $1,000 and below, most of what we're doing. So I can't afford to have that. Now, what you're going to have is these people will make decisions. Some will make decisions fast. Some will make decisions slow. But if they're over in the Gen Pop, then the people who make decisions slow, I can drip on them until they buy. Okay. So that's, so that cycle has it, people are the same, principles have not changed, but timing has changed. You got to do it quicker. If they don't buy the thing that is part of whatever the thing is in the first 3 days, they may not buy for a while. So you need to have a mechanism in place to follow up with them. But you can't, you also, I mean, I know somebody, oh, Jim, that's jaded. No, that's just real. So I'm just saying it's lead, sales, relationships, not leads, relationships, sales.
I love that. I've got a question for you before we move forward from this.
Okay.
Obviously there are, active buyers and inactive buyers, right? A lot of us may want to go get a Porsche GT3 at some point, but this week you're not in the market, but you are an active buyer for a long term that you might have something in mind. So like when it comes to leads, specifically to that leads category at the very top, how do you, like, what do you consider to be a lead? Like, how do you define lead in today's world of 2024?
Someone who has done something that has put them into the funnel that I'm trying to sell them something. that thing. So they've clicked on something, they've opted into something, and by doing so, they are now on a predefined path, whether it's a series of web pages, it's a product launch, it's a follow-up series of emails that I'm trying to get them to buy something, ultimately buy something or sign up for something. That to me is a lead. So customers, okay, and relationships, these people are in and out of being leads. So they're a customer, they're a subscriber, and then I'm trying to pop them in to be a lead for something else
Got it.
towards a predefined thing. So whether it's the write your book stuff, it's software, it's whatever it is, I have these people in this that I have this relationship with, this sphere of potentiality. And then I come in Gen Pop, yeah. And then I have an offer that if they respond, they go into the funnel as a lead, and then they either buy or not or whatever, but they're in Gen Pop until they unsubscribe.
Got it. Thanks for the clarity there.
Okay. Was that helpful?
Absolutely, because a lot of people, they don't define leads the same way. They're like, if they showed up to something and they didn't give you any information, they're somehow a lead. And I'm like, you don't even have their name, phone number, or email, or even like a level of where they are in their journey. And when you get to too many leads or massive databases, a lot of times we see this issue. They don't really define leads properly. They could have just downloaded a list from somewhere or collaborated with somebody, and it just like a big massive database, and you're like, who's the lead, right? And that's kind of what I'm thinking about when I ask that question.
Yeah. And the other thing is a lead is a person with specific hot buttons and desires that
Yeah.
you can target and lead them down a path. And I will just say, those of you who might be in the market for a Porsche G3 or an expensive vehicle like that, I will just tell you from personal experience that it sounds cool. And it's like, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say, Jim. Hey, I always thought being rich started with the R's, Rolls Royce and Rolex, man. Got two Rolexes I never watch, I never wear, literally. And I gave my Rolls Royce away because I was just sick of dealing with it. So I just say, aim for the things like fulfillment and helping others, and don't aim for the car.
It's
Just
good
saying.
wisdom. I was listening to a podcast day before yesterday, this gentleman talking about his very successful person. He's not even in the marketing world. And he said the way you can measure a man's success is if his kids wants to come hang out with them on
Yep.
holidays.
Yep.
And I was like, that's the most profound thing I've ever heard. You can have
Yes.
big house, big Rolexes, big everything, and no one's there. But anyways, let's.
And nothing is sad. We're gonna get to this one, but nothing is sadder than a fat guy trying to pour himself out of a Lambo. And if you're the fat guy with the Lambo, buddy, drive to Planet Fitness. Here we go. All right, so that was a free item lead magnet. Now let's talk about the next big one, which is events. An event, and this is where I think that the folks, you just got to understand that if everybody thinks there's this magical thing or somebody has this magical power, when we're talking about events like this, okay, it comes down to not just signups, but show ups. Okay. It's signups, show ups, and conversion. So you really have three separate follow-up funnels, three separate funnels for an event. Did you realize that, Paulson?
I did earlier.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. You read through the slides. No, I'm just playing. So the phase 1A for any type of event promo is, or any type of event, the follow-up is basically they've signed up, I want them to show up, or they're in my general population, or they're on somebody else's general population. We got to get them to sign up. The first step with a successful event is a sequence that gets them to sign up. So basically, I recommend you have a 9 email sequence. What? You're going to send 9 emails? Yep. And a very low unsubscribe rate. So, you basically are going to send a series of emails starting a week ahead of time. The majority of your signups are going to come in the first 2 days and the last 2 hours. But basically, you're going to, hey, there's an event coming. You want to sign up. Second email is going to be, hey, here's the big thing you're going to learn on the event. Third day is going to be, hey, here are the big points that we're going to be covering on the event. Day 4 is going to be talking about the bona fides. There you go. The CV, the curriculum vitae of the trainer. That's a fancy way of saying, here's why you should come to listen to this person, because they know how to get you the payoff. Then we start doing the countdown. Hey, event's only 72 hours away. We're reinforcing the benefits and all the stuff with, these are the big reasons why you want to sign up. Then on the 6th and 7th day, the 6th day, you can do like an FAQ thing. Hey, here are the things, we're going to talk about this. You're going to talk about this. You're going to talk about this. Yes, absolutely. And so much more. Then the promo number 7 is, hey, it's tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. And then you send an email the morning of the event, and then you send an email an hour before. And you've done a ton of events. And Paulson, would you agree that you get the majority of your signups with the first couple emails, and then the vast majority come the day of or an hour before or 20 minutes after the event's already started?
Yeah, yeah. There's a eager crowd that's usually like, oh, there's my email. I got it. I'm added to my calendar, and then nothing happens for a little while. And then the other eager crowd is like, oh, where's the email? I was looking forward to it. I need to go find it. And towards the end of the sequence, you can see people responding in the emails. Where is it? Where is it? Where is
Yeah.
this? You can see the excitement rising again as the
Yes,
event is right about to unfold. Yeah.
absolutely. So then here's the other key to getting people to show up. It's not just signups, but show ups. And so if you really want to, once someone has signed up, see, because I don't remember what I did this day, what I was doing this time last week. And I can't tell you exactly what I'm doing a week from today. I can tell you, though, from like 11 days, I should be eating me some ribs at some point during the day. So
For those of you that are coming to the conference, we're gonna have to make a run to a barbecue spot for Jim somewhere
rib
over
run, and hush puppies. Okay. So you got to send reminders. Okay. So, and you don't have to do all of these if you don't want people to show up. I mean, if you're not concerned about people showing up, you don't have to do all these. And so what you got to do is the people who signed up, you got to remind them, hey, here's a reminder of the event and why you signed up and what the payoff's going to be. Hey, here's a reminder of what we're going to cover and why the person that's speaking is so cool. So in some ways, they're kind of rewrites of some of the other promos that you might be sending. But you got to remind people, hey, the event's coming. You got to get excited, man. You got to get excited. This is going to be amazing. It's like a mini product launch. It's a mini, the same way that they promote the Go High Level event. It's like, hey, we're going to do a thing with this person. This person's coming. Look at this video they made. It's going to be amazing. We interview them. We talk about them. What are you going to be covering? What would you say to people who are on the fence? All that stuff. This is a mini version of doing it. You only have to do this if you want people to show up. If you're not worried about it, you don't have to do this. Well, do I really have to send 4 emails? Only if you want people to show up. And only if you're promoting it a week ahead of time. If you start promoting, we have some that, we'll just start promoting it 3 days ahead of time, in which case we just do a compressed version of this. And typically the only reminder email that gets sent is the one with the 1 hour warning, because we don't take the people who sign up off of the list. We don't suppress them from the Gen Pop list. So we just keep hammering everybody with the 3 emails. So the emails hammer them to show up for the event are also the reminder emails for the ones who already signed up. Half of them can't remember they already signed up. So they sign up again. So then you got to dedupe the list before you send it. And then that's fine. It's just, this is how the real world works. You're laughing, Paulson, because you're like, yeah, that's how it works, dude.
we have a department full of people handling what you just described.
Right. So it's people, man. You can either, complain about or just love on them and accept it. Okay. So if you want show ups, you got to send reminders. One thing to get signups, another thing to get show ups. This is where you make your money. If you don't want to make any money, then don't do this. Okay. If you want to make money, then this is what you do. You got to send out the follow up from the actual event. So what's the first one? Hey, that night of the event, hit them with the replay. Why? Because only about 30-40% people show up, and everybody's like, is there going to be a replay? Is there going to be a replay? Is there going to be a replay? And let me give you the answer to that. I don't know, but the only way you'll get the replay is if you sign up. And I really suggest you show up live, because that's where all the good times are going to happen. I have had times when the video got jacked up and we couldn't have a replay, but as soon as people hear that there's going to be a replay, your show up rate is going to go in the toilet. Why? Because they know that they can watch the replay if they want to, but they're not gonna. Hey, by the way, if you really want people to show up, charge for the replay. Charge $20 for the replay. Hey, you know what? I know people get busy, and if you want the replay, we're happy to give it for you. It'll be $20. You can show up and watch for free live, but the replay is $20. That will almost assuredly increase your show up rate live by 50%. And you'll actually make a bunch of money, because a lot of people are like, yeah, okay, I'll give you $20. Those are the same people that asked for the slides at the beginning.
But
God bless them.
Jim, the reason why people ask for slides early is a lot of people like to have it side by side with their 4-foot screen and take notes on them. That's one thing I've discovered, because I had the same thoughts. I'm like, why do you need slides? I don't even know what's on the slides myself.
Yeah. Well, okay. I can see that. I still don't give them to them though. So plus, if you print it out, I might be getting some of that rib juice on there. You never know, some of that sauce from those ribs.
We're gonna fax it over in the next workshop. We're gonna fax it over.
There you go. Okay, so you want to get them the replay that night. And the replay announcement is basically, hey, here's replay, all the goodness, everybody loved it, people are going nuts, go watch it now. P.S. If you missed it, I made an amazing offer for blah, 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 that's going to help you benefit, and you get all the details about that. Again, back to that thing I showed you on a different screen, where you'll see how it's a lot of content, a little bit of pitch. And as we go, the pitch starts getting bigger as time starts running out. So day 2 is the day after the event. I'm going to reiterate, here's the replay, and then I'm going to recap the offer. One of the fastest ways to do that, if you've done a stack, you've done a webinar that has a stack, one of the fastest ways to do that is just have a picture of the stack. Just do a graphic of your stack. Get that done lickety split quick, Jack. And then day 3, or replay number 3, which is event plus 2, you're sending an FAQ email. But this isn't an FAQ about the topic on the webinar. This is an FAQ about the offer. And then next day, an urgency email, and you can eliminate this one if you want, depending on how fast you want to do this with your cart close. It's an urgency email that's basically like, hey, the replay's going away. The offer is can't go on forever. Tomorrow's gonna be the last day. You need to, you don't get a whole lot of sales off of this one, but this is the setup for the ones that get you the sales. Then the morning of the last day, it's, hey, here's your last call. This is it. There's your last call to grab the offer. If you one of the few people left on planet Earth that hadn't watched the replay, you ought to grab that real quick. And then that evening, it's the final courtesy reminder. Hey, it's the last time I'm going to contact you about this. If you do have a hard deadline, you tell them, hey, you can't buy this after midnight, whatever it is. Bonus Hawaii disappears, time. Yep. Whatever. I don't mention the Hawaii time though, because then they think they're getting over. Hell, the people over in England are buying at noon. I mean, they're buying it at lunch on the next day. Oh, the chaps can't check their stuff. So that's, that is the thing. You can combine a couple of them. Typically, email number 3 and 4 would be the ones that I would combine together if you were going to try and shorten this up. And if you wanted to shorten it up even more, then you could combine 1 and 2 here's a replay offer recap right here. Then next day could be FAQ and it expires tomorrow. And then, the last day you want to send 2 emails. That's really the key to the whole follow-up there.
Got it.
So,
Jim, couple of questions for you. From a baseline standpoint of measuring success of these follow-ups, like I know you said a 5% show up rate or open rate is like really good or whatnot. Like, but what are some ways we should measure success on this? And I'm not asking you to toss over the fish. I'm asking you to teach us how to fish. So how do we build a standard to measure the effectiveness of our follow-up?
okay. So every email that you send has two big numbers: open rate and click-through rate. Okay. So every single email you send, you want to see, did anybody open it? And then if my objective in this email was to get somebody to click over, look at something, then you're going to measure that. So you want to try and raise that on every aspect. How do you increase open rate? Better subject lines and people knowing who the hell it's from. Okay. How do you increase click-through rate? With your hook story offer within the email itself. Oh, you see how all this is coming together. Day 1 is flowing into day 4. Seriously though, I mean, that's
Yeah.
how. Okay. So if we're talking about an event, we're looking at our sign up rate versus our show up rate. Okay. It's one, how many people go to the page and sign up? That's the sign up rate. Show up rate is out of all the people who signed up, how many people showed up live? Then we're looking at open rate on each email. Then we're looking at the click-through rate on each one and the do-re-mi sales at the end. How much money did I make? And then what you want to do is and I would encourage you to not just do stuff one-off, but actually find something that works and do it over and over. Long after you're bored with it, you'll still be making money. You should be able to get to the point where for every single person that signs up to the event, I'm going to make X amount of dollars. And that's when you can run around and talk to super affiliates and stuff and say, hey man, I got an event. Every single sign up we make $5 and I'll give you $250 off each one.
So doing
and
JVs and
greedy,
partnerships. Yeah.
Yeah. Affiliates, JVs, whatever you want to call it, super JV, affiliate, associate, they call it on Amazon. But that's where you want to be, because then their greedy little minds go, ooh, I bet I can get him 1,000 signups, which means I'll make, they're people that couldn't do 2nd grade math all of a sudden can do calculus when they're thinking about their paycheck. Have you ever noticed that? So that's how you're measuring success is sign up rate, show up rate, open rate, click-through rate, and just sales.
Love that. Is this helpful, you guys? I know a ton of you are watching. We've been just absorbing so much. I just want to make sure we're all on pace. Give me a 1 in the chat, 1 in the comments if you're following. Give us a 1 in the chat if you're following. Okay, I see a ton of 1s coming in. Any questions, thoughts, anything you may even want to add on? Feel free to put that in the comments and we'll just kind of go through that and pay attention. What else do we need to learn about the follow-up system, Jim?
Do it. People get worried. No. The biggest thing is, we're joking about Gen Pop. All the profit is in the Gen Pop, is in the database. All the profit is because this is where you build the relationships. This is where you build the trust. This is where you build when you do come out with the next offer or you're promoting something as an affiliate. So this is where you get the people to show up. This is where you get the traffic on demand. This is where you get the profits on demand. This is the relationship, not just the list. And then you got the people like, well, I just don't want to bother anybody. That's dumb. Okay, you're not bothering anybody if you're dropping value bombs.
Well, they signed up for the email too. They want something from you.
Absolutely. But if you don't give them anything, there's nothing for them to want. They won't pay attention. And then you're like, oh, well, I've got something good to share now. They're like, who are you? I don't remember you. Oh, you signed up for my thing a year ago. That's why I laugh when I say, how do I reinvigorate a cold list? turn it off and start over, Chuckles, because you ain't going to reinvigorate a cold list. No, I'm just being real, man.
Yeah.
This is,
No,
I just,
you're right. So the question goes to, how do I maintain the warmth of the list? Should I just educate as much as I can so every single, one of my emails is not a sales pitch? Like, what are your, yeah, there you go.
value. And you'll hear all these different combos, 10, 20, 70, 10, 30, 40, whatever. Dude, just here's something I think will help you. And by the way, we've got this. I mean, that's literally like, hey, every Wednesday I send out an article. It's our newsletter. We used to have, man, it had like, articles and recaps and this and that and the other. And looking at what was going on with it, send people a cool article on a topic that they can absorb in about 5 minutes that's helpful to them based on what I know about them, and they like it.
I love that.
That's it
Yeah.
literally, that's been my shtick for over 20 some years, is the Tuesday article, which is now the Wednesday article. That's why I literally visualize it as I'm making deposits into their mental bank account. And every once in a while, I make a withdrawal by making an amazing offer.
Here's what I paid attention to a lot, Jim, today. You didn't say this, but you said eat, sleep, content, and repeat, and it says that on your t-shirt. And it goes to what you're sharing here. If you have a couple of segments, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a blog writing, maybe it's a book review. It doesn't matter, even if you didn't write the book. People want opinions. They want perspectives. Is that the motto you follow?
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's no secret, man. I mean, I've got an AI SaaS, but everything that we do comes down to soul with an E on the end. People want stories. They want opinions. They want unique perspectives. They want lessons learned, and they want to learn from your experience.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're sharing. But yet, this is the stuff that can't be cloned. It can't be copied. It can't be ripped off. This is us. And if we want them to buy us, then this is the stuff we should be sharing. And let me tell you one last thing. But Jim, if I share this, what are they going to buy from me? Honey, if you can just send one article or one video and you got nothing left in the cupboard, it's time to reevaluate your existence and your niche.
These are facts.
Yeah, spitting facts, brother, spitting facts. So the one thing that I would just encourage everybody to do as we draw this to conclusion is, this is the software we use. You can get a 30-day free trial. Oh, sorry. I thought I had shared the thing, but I'm still just running off at my mouth. Here you go. The software we use is Go High Level. You can get a 30-day free trial, which is double what you can get off of their regular website. You're welcome. Also, when you sign up for that free trial, you're going to get my snapshot templates and training, which includes template for a sales letter funnel, template for a lead gen opt-in funnel, and an 11 email follow-up sequence, plus some bonus training and other goodness where I'll be spitting copywriting facts at you that'll make you absolutely amazing, or at least entertaining, at cocktail parties. You want to go to gohighlevel.com/Jim Edwards offers. I'm sure you will get some follow-up email funnel stuff from the fellas over at Go High Level, but I just want to say that this offer can't last forever, and nor should it. Okay? Nothing good lasts forever. Only bad crap lasts forever. Okay? Nothing good lasts forever. Go sign up. When I say this is what we use, this is what we use. This is what we teach our customers to use. What else? What other proof do you need to know that this thing works and it's amazing? Head over to gohighlevel.com/Jim Edwards offers, and we'll see you inside Go High Level.
Can I had mentioned earlier that I want to throw in a little bonus. Are y'all ready? If you are ready, I'll do something that we haven't done before.
I'm ready.
And
Do I
this
get it
is a,
too?
and this is an ex you don't need it. But
Oh,
this is an example of the lessons we've learned here on this workshop. So for all of you that don't have a high level account yet, maybe you're considering, and you're taking on Jim's link there for the 30-day trial. If you are jumping into it, I want to provide you a bonus. I'm going to drop a link here that is going to allow you to jump on a Zoom call with somebody on our team right now if you want to, and they'll set up your account with you. They'll go
Wow.
through it, the snapshot that you're getting from Jim, they'll help you install it. Whatever you need, they'll spend time with you, whether it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 2 hours, it doesn't matter. You can talk to a live person and say, "Hey, Paulson, I don't know anything about high level. I'm so new. I watched the workshop, but I need help. Can you just walk me through what this thing is all about?" And it's not just like a random orientation one to many call. This is you one on one with one person. Here's a link for it, and that's part of this workshop. As a bonus, if you jump onto that link, here it is.
I'm gonna snatch that up.
It's speakwith.us slash live dash walkthrough. Jordan, if you don't mind, put that into the comments. Uh, Appreciate you, Jordan, by the way. And for those of you that are already on high level, you don't need it. You don't need a live walkthrough of high level and help setting up your high level. This is for those folks that are jumping into the trial today. And we'll keep this going until Hawaii time Friday, tomorrow. But all jokes aside, we'll keep it live for tomorrow as well. But we want you to jump into those calls today. But added bonus, no obligation. Just
Thank
jump
you,
on a quick
Paulson.
call. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. What else do we need to cover today? I feel like we covered a lot of ground. Anything that you feel like we're missing? I mean, this was a fundamental marketing psychology course baked into copywriting as the main thing, you know?
Yeah, I would just say, do something. Just start putting little causes in motion. That's the biggest thing. Don't try and do it all. But next time you're doing an email, think through what I talked about. Next time you're putting up a sales page, or you're looking at your sales page or your opt-in or anything like that. Just try to do something better, different, and make a difference. That's all you can do. And that's I'm a realist. On the flip side, this is a game of little tweaks, little hinges that swing big doors. And I've seen a single change to a headline increase profitability on a website infinitely. And then once I got a sale with changing the headline, I was able to increase it by 500%. I don't care who you are, increasing your revenue by 500%, even if it was just going from $10 to $50 or $100 to $500 or 500 to 2,500, 2,500, 100, or making $1,000,000 a minute. I'm just saying, this is not an income claim. Your results may vary. I had to say that one more time. Um, that's really the key. And just the biggest thing I would want to get across to you is that copywriting is a skill you can learn and develop quickly. This doesn't mean you have to go back to school or anything like that. So I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you. This has been wonderful. I hope this is the start of more stuff like this. I would love to come back and share again
Yeah.
and talk about specific, whatever y'all need help with. I am happy to help. I am at your disposal, my friend.
Did
Anything
you
I
did you
can do
have
to help the
fun?
community. I had an amazing time. Couldn't you tell?
Yeah, and you didn't call me chucklehead once. We had a great time.
I would never call you a chucklehead. Chuckleheads are over there. We're all over here together. See, that's one of the other lessons. It's like you all come over here. We're here. We're cool. The chuckleheads over there. So, nah, that was
I
amazing.
learned so many little terms. It was I had a great time. And in all reality, entertainment is part of good education that keeps great engagement. I was sharing that with some of my team members as they were messaging me, watching some of these things. But
Get this guy off the Zoom. Holy crap. Did you hear what he just said?
no, no, no. They've had a great time. There, tons of team members are even tuning in to just take some nuggets and apply to, because a lot of our departments, they do copywriting, they do their own emails and stuff like that. So we're
Awesome.
all together, just leaning in. Jim, I'm looking forward to figuring out this whole barbecue run when we get to the conference for you.
We
I'm
might have to do
excited
it
to.
twice. Might have to do it twice just to make sure that we get it right.
What are you going to be teaching at the conference? I know you are one of the breakout sessions, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to
what
be
are
teaching, I'm going to be teaching you how to do your next $1 million offer. So whether it's your first or your next, it'll be your next $1 million offer. I'm going to lay out for you in 20 minutes exactly how to structure an offer, how to overcome people's objections, which objections that people have. And I'm going to give you a couple examples from my life that you can model instantly. And in 20 minutes, I'm going to change your life.
Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm telling you, I think we're down to our last couple of tickets. So if by today, if you haven't yet, and I'm not saying no random scarcity thing. We're almost out of tickets. So jump in. It's a great time. Jim, I'm looking forward to seeing you in person. I feel like
Me
I'm gonna walk
too.
up to you and give you a big hug and
You
appreciate
should. You should. I'll know you. It'll be awesome. I'm gonna give me some high level gear too. I need the only thing I was
Awesome.
missing on this, I need a high level hat. I need a high level trucker hat. I'm gonna get like high level this, and I'm gonna get me some hoodies and some other stuff so
We'll
I can
get
show up looking like one of the boys.
we'll get you that.
Awesome.
Now
Okay.
for all of you that are existing customers and you've been waiting patiently for the collaterals. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go. Are you, am I
Yeah.
good? I gotta
You're
run.
good. You're good to go.
All right.
I'm gonna drop this link here. Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna drop this link here. It's gohighlevel.com/ Jim Edwards resources. Jordan and our community team, they will post that. So if you're a high leveler, you'll get direct access to the snapshots and stuff like that. And feel free, have at it, and let us know how it impacts your business. And we'll have replays out soon as well. Thanks for being part of the workshop, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.